Good morning, good morning. Saturday, bright and early. It's your 808 Daily Dose. I got a formula for you. You're going to want to hang on to this one, especially if you're struggling to lose that first 10 pounds. Now maybe let me turn down this music. I'm fired up. I'm not even going to exercise right now, but I'm excited. Saturday, the week is gone. The week is behind us. The month is behind us. We're in a new month. Kind of crazy to think. And I don't know if you found the formula yet, but I have a formula for you to help you lose the first 10 pounds. Now, maybe you need to lose 20 pounds, 30, 40, 50, whatever. And maybe you're 40 or over and you've just been struggling. Now, of course, there's lots of things. And you're like, no, Mark, but you don't understand me. My hormones are all messed up. You don't understand me. I'm going through menopause. You don't understand me, Mark. I used to work out really hard. Now I can't. Okay, I get it. I hear it all the time. But there is a simple formula. And I know it's hard to grab a hold of because there's too much information out in the world saying that there's just, no, you should do this. You should do high intensity interval training. You should only eat until 6 p.m. and not eat until 12 the next day. You should intermittent fast. That's the magic formula when you're older. No, the magic formula is that you do these juice cleanses you can cycle through these juice cleanses. No, the magic formula is to not eat carbs. No, the magic formula is to put butter in your coffee. No, there's a simple solution. Can we just talk about that for a moment? I think most of us deep down inside know that it's simple. Like people tell me all the time, Mark, I know I need to eat healthier. I know I need to exercise better, blah, blah, blah. I get it, right. Okay. There is a simple formula. And the first and foremost thing is to accept the fact if you're over 40, that you're over 40. I mean, that's the hardest thing I would say is I like to hear people, they're almost breaking 50 like me. And they're like, no, I'm 39. And we all know you're over 40. And there's this kind of not acceptance to where you're at physically speaking, but maybe just the reality is that days are going by, right? 4 months of the year have already gone by. And you're still struggling with that first 10 pounds. Or maybe you had success for the first 10 pounds and then it came back on. And then you tried something different and you lost the 10 pounds and it came back on. And then you tried your friend's, magic potion, magic formula, and you lost 10 or 15 pounds maybe, and then you put it back on, right? So, and it is like a vicious cycle. And I know because I've talked to people that have been on a vicious cycle for years and years and years, and they're just like, okay, Mark, if you can help me. And I want to help you right now. You don't even need to be a coaching student of mine. I want you to just kind of think about this. There's a simple solution. The simple solution is this. There's a handful of things. I think there's 5 things, maybe more, but let's go. First is realizing where you're at in your season of life, in your age, a season. In that time of season of your life, what can just thinking about what are the things that you want to achieve in your life? What is it where do you want to be in the next 5 months, in the next 5 years, maybe in the next decade or two, right? And you got to realize that you have to ignite a flame now to get the weight off. If you say, I see myself in the next year being 30 pounds lighter, fitting back into my skinny jeans, feeling confident in myself, all those types of things. I don't want to really spend the time getting into that because you probably heard me talk about that before. So getting into your why. But the simple solution is that being the driving force. Then you got to realize that you have to make the beautiful thing about weight loss too. I hope you grab this today. If there's anything else you grab from me, is you grab this. I hope you realize that when you have a powerful why, when you can taste, maybe for you, it's that bathing suit you haven't been able to put on in years. Maybe it's to actually be confident to go out with your significant other, your spouse, on a date and feel sexy for the first time, maybe since before you had kids. Is this resonating with you? Maybe for you fellas, it's taking your shirt off at the beach. It's something I had struggled with for a number of years. Around when we're kids, we're little, and I was still a coach and a trainer. I was doing more personal training, and things were just a lot harder. Like, it was harder to not eat the snacks after the kids. But now I'm in a different season. Kids are older. It's a different season. But that's the first thing, like the simple solution. It is. Because once you can grab a hold of that, then you realize here's the formula, right? Here's the formula. Then you realize that it's going to be beneficial to get to that place where you want to get to. Not necessarily the number on the scale, but get to that place, fitting in the bathing suit, taking your shirt off at the beach, being comfortable even around your own family, saying, I don't want to be an embarrassment to my family. I want to set a good example for my own children. So again, all those things taken into consideration. The simple formula is you got to ask every time when you're going to, through your week, through your meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, however often you eat, doesn't really honestly matter. And saying, is this going to put deposit in my account to getting that weight off or not? And I say that, is it going to be positively beneficial to me, or is it going to just cause it more difficult for me to lose the weight? So again, as you're doing so, then it makes the simple formula, it makes it easier to understand. You have to move more than less. If you have a desk job, if you sit on your ass all day long, and maybe you're doing Zoom work and you're sitting on your butt for 30, 40, 50 hours a week, or maybe you're in a car driving to work back and forth, you gotta move more. When you're over 40, now hear me out, when you're over 40, the problem for most of us is we just don't move nearly like we did back when we were in our 20s or 30s, right? And the reason why here's the caveat, here's the double-edged sword. The reason why you can't move well now over 40 is because you're simply not moving enough. The more you move, the better you feel. I say this every single time on a call when I talk to somebody new. I said, hey, my program helps focus on getting you to move more, because that's truly how you're going to feel better. So, well, why is that important to weight loss? Well, again, it isn't even the most important thing, because obviously what you stick in your mouth is going to be the most important thing to get the weight off, right? And if we look at, all you have to do, the simple solution is take a look at the food that you're eating. I don't even need, a lot of the times, I don't even need to have people count their calories or do any of that kind of stuff. All I need them to do is to actually, I'll say, hey, Jennifer, or hey, Robin, or hey, Joe. I'll say, hey, I just want you to send me pictures of your food for the next 3 days, maybe the next week. I don't even have to actually evaluate it. They already know. The problem is when we eat, we don't tend to think about the food we ate. Excuse me, I got a little cough. Better put my mask on in the car. No, I'm just kidding. But as far as if you were to just sit and look at the food you eat for the next 3 days over the weekend, you're going to probably already know some of the things that you probably need to avoid. You're smart. You're over 40. You've lived on this earth. You survived. Maybe you've only survived. Maybe it's time for you to thrive. The simple formula for this is, again, I'm going to bring it back to the beginning. It's to understand your why. Grab a hold of your why. Like for me, I'll just share with you my why. My why, and I'm going to be just superficial first. My why is I want to be hot for my wife. We're 19 years married this month. This is an incredible month. In fact, I got something exciting to share, because not only is it our anniversary month, it's her birthday month. She's getting a year sexier. That's how she's getting a year sexier. And one of the things that I can tell you is it gets me excited. I want to be sexy for my wife. I want to be hot for my wife. I don't know what you're thinking. Oh, Mark, I hear this all the time. Can we just get off of this, please? I just want to be healthier. I really just want to be healthier. No, you don't. You want to be hot. Even if you're not married, or maybe you're divorced, or maybe you're widowed, you want to look good. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing selfish about that. Because what does that do? When you look good, you're going to feel good. When you feel good, your presence is going to be you're going to have more energy. You're going to feel more alive. It's just all related. Can we get an amen right down there, please? It's all related. Now, that's one of my whys. The other why is I want to be active. Now, I'm going to be 49 this year. I want to be able to surf when there's waves. I want to be able to go for a bike ride, or go on a trip when we're able to travel and go for a hike. Now, you might not be an active person, and that's cool. That might not be your why, but that's my why. And it doesn't mean my why has to be your why, but chances are you want to be as active as possible. One of the biggest things that I've heard when we age and we get older and this is the truth. I've looked it up. I've done the research. One of the biggest issues people have, the biggest disappointments that make people depressed is that they lose their independence. I know I worked in a nursing home for 2 years. One of the things I heard all the time is I just, losing my independence, not being able to drive, not being able to work, not being able to maybe run or bike, not being able to exercise, not being able to do the things or go on a vacation. I heard this when I used to personal train a gentleman, and he told me that, here I am. I worked my ass off my whole life. I made a lot of money, and I'm retired, and my wife and I want to go on this really nice cruise, and I'm only limited to, there's like levels of activity. And if you're like moderately active or mobile, so to speak, you're able to do things. Well, that sucks, especially if you really work so hard your whole life to build maybe the wealth so you could retire on it for 10, 20, 30 years or more. And now you can't even enjoy the fruit from all the hard work and labor that you put in over the years. So that's where my point is. If you can get in touch with that now over 40, whether you're 40 or 50 or even 60, is to think that you get in touch with that. You get in touch with that, then guess what? The formula is easy. Then you realize you can't be stuffing your face with crap all day long. You can't be boozing like you did back in the college days. You actually have to get up off the couch versus just, restricting calories. Now, yes, it is the difference between calories in and calories out. However, most people like to put play the blame game on so many other factors. Mark, no, I just can't lose weight. My doctor, I'm on this medication. Now, mind you, I'm not knocking you ladies out there. It's just I work with a lot of women, and a lot of times it comes up, and just so you know, my wife's a nurse practitioner. She worked in women's health. I can tell you for a fact, she worked in women's health for 6 years. She said just about every woman that came in that had a hard time with weight loss like to blame it on their hormones, like to blame it on menopause. And she said, like to blame it on like their metabolism. Yes, our metabolism slows down when we get older, but 90%. And then we have all these other excuses, right? And again, this is not to knock, I'm just giving you straight out facts here. She said maybe 10% of the time. Now you might be the 10%, and I'm not talking to you, but the rest of you, it's just take a look at what you're doing to yourself through the week. Look at the food I'm talking not just ladies here. Just don't get me out. No haters. Men as well. And the guy's like, man, Mark, I'm working out. I'm eating healthy. And I'm like, okay, tell me everything you're eating. And then they tell me, and they're eating still like they were in their 20s. And then they're drinking like a fish. Like, oh, but I enjoy my beer. Well, you can't enjoy your beer and drink 20 or 30 of them in a week and expect to get your beer gut off. It's just not going to happen. That's just a reality. So in any event, the simple formula and the solution is, the first and foremost is to literally be grounded and have your foundation in why you want to get that first 10 pounds off, why you want to get that 10, 20, 30, because if you can do it for the first 10, if you can hold on to it for the first 10 and not rely on starving yourself and not relying on the pills, the potions, the droplets under your tongue, right? Any of the hardcore restrictions and worrying about the intermittent fastings and going carb free. You saw I enjoy my pizza. You can, so long as you're not overdoing it all the time. You overdo it all the time, and guess what? Your weight is going to be overdoing it all the time. It's simple formula. So anyway, I hope that helped. Simple formula. Now with that, with regard to 10 pounds, I'm going to assume here, since you're watching, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, all I ask, if you got a bit of not necessarily advice, but maybe if you got some value out of this, I just ask that you share this. I want this to spread to other people. Share it to a friend, share it on your page, like, love, comment on it. I would love your thoughts. Yes, it's harder over 40, but all of us are making it way too hard, mainly because you're just focused on the weight loss. You're focused on the tools you need to use rather than on the why you need to lose the 10 pounds or why you want to lose the 10 pounds. Now, I believe you can. And if you can get in touch with that for the first 10 pounds, you won't need any restrictive diets. You won't need any kind of crazy supplements. You won't need any kind of carb-free lifestyle. You don't have to get rid of all the sugar. You don't have to get rid of all the fat. You don't have to get rid of all the fun in life. Food is okay. The problem is we get so attached to food, and then we have a negative relationship with food, and then that's what is usually our downfall. So I hope this message found you well. The formula truly is simple. Now, that's what I do. I help people. And that's one thing to hear from me and be inspired by me. It's the other to take an action step. Now, it is May. I have some exciting news. I'm not even going to share it with you. If you want to be one of the first, you need to get on my schedule and hear it. I'm doing a crazy thing this month because it is my wife and ours anniversary on the 25th. And then it's her birthday coming up as well. So stay tuned for that. Happy Saturday. Take care and have a blessed weekend.